Welcome to this relook at a new mod on Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, the Phiber Dash chemical mixing. Now I did look at this on the mod review yesterday when this came out. I wasn't satisfied with my results. I wasn't happy with my results. Now I'm not saying that in this video we're going to solve the problem. Can we get this to work is what I'm kind of looking at. I'm concerned that I missed an option. I'm concerned that I missed a setting. I'm concerned that I didn't show it to its full extent because I did it as part of the rest of the mod review. Now, if you haven't seen that, I would suggest you watch it. If you don't watch the whole mod review, it's the second half of the mod review. There were some things I didn't show. I didn't show things being attached to trailers, things being detached from trailers. I didn't show the sprayer on the sprayer deck trailer because the two standards, like the base game ones, don't fit. However, the Plains and Prairies pack, if you've got that, the Rogator, which is just there, does fit. Because the Hardy boom sprayer on FS22 fit, no problem at all. But the Agrifax on FS25, the axle width is too narrow. They won't go on. So I thought, you know what, I didn't show the things I wanted to show. I didn't show me refilling any of the water tanks or using the water thing that comes with it. So I'm going to go through some of the stuff again. Now I'm going to reiterate this. If you didn't watch the mod review and you're not going to watch the mod review, that's absolutely fine. There's a very, very crucial thing you need to know and need to utilize if you are going to use this pack, and it's this menu. We go across to our help menu there, click on that, then go from base game to precision farming, and that has a special section for the Phiber Dash chemical mixing. So the first section is using the trailer, and again I'm not going to read all of these out, but this is where you find it, and it is a very useful guide to a degree. But even following this guide on my mod review, I could not get it to work. And the thing I couldn't get to work is, if I read the top one first, it says, to fill the water is just like filling a base game trailer with water. There is a placeable well in this mod, I'll show that in a minute, that will let you refill quickly with water for free if there is no good spot on the map. Right, so if you don't want to mix your own products, the tanks can also be filled with base game herbicide or liquid fertilizer as well. So you don't have to mix your own, you can just use the tanks and you can fill them up, and there's loads and loads of trailers. Again, I'll show you where those are, but this is not a deep dive into slot counts and stuff like that. This is just to show you if you didn't watch the mod review. Now, to fill the dash with products for mixing, you can put the totes or jugs or unmixed herbicide or pallets of soluble fertilizer on the deck of the trailer or on the tote deck or cage. To fill the dash with them, you will need to have the dash selected to get the prompt in the help menu to refill. Then unloading, it just says you need to open the pipe. The dash 4.4 and 1.4 have two pipe options, one for mixing, one for unloading. But it doesn't say mixing. You've got like pipe 1, pipe 2. If it said pipe 1, mixing, okay, that makes sense. That's where I think I may have gone wrong, potentially. The problem I had was I couldn't find a way to either mix liquid fertilizer or herbicide. Every time I tried to do it, it just did herbicide as a default. If there was no herbicide on the trailer and I put the fertilizer on, it would then do the fertilizer. But even then, it didn't seem to unload it properly. It wasn't, I don't know, like it didn't want to do it. So that's what I wasn't sure about. If we come down one, we've got assembling the trailer. That's an important one. And what I didn't show on the mod review yesterday was, if we scroll down, you've got the 45-foot step deck. We've got the 50-foot step deck. We've got the goosenecks. And then we've got flatbed, X2 flatbeds or ×2 flatbeds for putting on the back of certain lorries. And then that one on the back there, the last one says the Winkler grain box. That does say from the bulk truck bed pack, which is not part of this pack. And I'm not even sure if we've got it in console, have we? We might have. So you can put these tanks and things on. And it shows you different ways of putting on the various different items. You need a tank, you either need a water pump, or you need one of the mixers. The 4.4 or the 1.4. to do the mixing. The totes and cages and stuff like that, that's all peripheral, that's additional, that's for storage and stuff. Retention straps, you don't have to have those, and also you don't have to set these up yourself. There are pre-made versions of these, so I've gone with pre-made. I've also gone with a gooseneck to show you attaching and detaching items. So when we come down to this section here, gooseneck, I'm looking at probably the very bottom one. I've got a tank and I've got the dash 1.4. So I'm going to show you those two being attached, but the others attached in exactly the same way. And this is the reference. Keep coming back to this reference to help you. Then we come down to it and it gives you all the function of the components. And again, these are the various different components that are in the pack. So you've got your trailer, whichever version you go for. If you go for a pre-made one, that's the top section. Then you've got lizard trailers. All those types of trailers can be modified and utilised, but they can also be used as just a bale, auto-load bale trailer, or just a regular trailer with straps. So there are trailers in this pack, and then you've got all the additionals. The dash 1.4 and 4.4, those are your mixing units. Again, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. There's a simplified version which gives you the Phiber dash trailer, so the immersion of using the Phiber dash trailer, and you can just fill it up with liquid fertilizer and herbicide, or herbicide depending on how you want to do it, what it is you're going to be running, and just take that out to the field and use it as an immersive tool for running whatever your operation is. But if you want to mix them, that's where I'm having issues. Water pump. Now the water pump needs to be used to unload whatever's in the tanks with no mixing function. So if you've just got the tanks on there and you've got no mixer unit, but you need to unload, you need a water pump. So whichever configuration, all the tanks, and there's tons of them available, the cage and totes, then these, the unmixed herbicide and the soluble fertilizer are all in the various different sections, the places you would expect to find them in our build mode, I guess. So I said this on the mod review as well, you'll find them in a couple of locations. Low loads and semi-trailers is where you'll find them predominantly, but if we also come down to our sprayers, you'll see the pre-made versions are just here. 45 foot, 50 foot. One of these is, oh, that's the sprayer deck one. So these are your sort of good to go setup. If you're going to be mixing, you can just pick that up if you want to. That being said, if we come back up to here and we go to low loaders, this is where you find the majority of the actual sort of trailers. So 45 foot step deck, 50 foot step deck, gooseneck with ramps on the back. If you want the ramps on the back, you've got the X2 flatbed. So if you are going to be running that on the back of, for example, the Volvo or some of that, you extended the wheelbase of the Volvo. And there are loads of different lorries that do this, and you can attach that onto the back, so you can utilise that in different ways. And there are different configuration options on these, where it says dash or automatic bale loading. Design standards, manifold steps. Maybe it's just these ones. Oh, there you go, yeah, straps, no auto-loading, auto-loading, no straps. And then you've got the different options for dash, auto-load capacity display, and then your colour options. So all the trailers are here, including, again in this section, pre-made. And then this one here is the one that we've already seen, but this one is the one that's simple. This one, no chemical mixing. It's just a standard, you can transport the stuff, it looks like the trailer, but there's no option for mixing. It will just, you know, do the thing. Now these also have options if you've gone for one of these pre-made ones of filling configuration. You've got standard with a boom, with a hose reel, or not at all. I've gone for one of each, of one with the hose reel, one with the boom, because I don't know if maybe that was an issue. One of the reasons why I couldn't get it to work the other day. So under low loaders, but then you also find them all under semi-trailers as well. So they're all here as well, as you can see, all under semi-trailers as well. So that's where you find all your trailers. And again, there's a lot of different options to flick around with. If you just want the trailer and you don't want to use the Phiber dash stuff, you don't have to. That being said, for a set of trailers, I think this is, what's it, 62.85 megabyte download for the entire pack, which might be quite high if you just want to use the trailers. In my opinion, that's just in my humble opinion. So if we come down to now miscellaneous, that's where you find all the other bits. So there's your 4.4 chemical mixer, filling configuration. So there you go, you can have the boom on there, hose reel, standard. We've then got the 1.4. The 4.4 will fill 2 times quicker than the 1.4. Main colour option on that. There's your cage, there's your tote deck, You've got your water pump, and then you've got your various different tanks. And with the tanks, there's options for designs with or without logo. You've got your main colour does the tank, hoop colour does the hoops. So that one there, we've got a 10,400, 12,300, 14.2, 16,000 litre. Then we move on to upright tanks, ribbed, 5,300, 6,400 and 7,500. Then upright smooth, 4,000, 5,100, 5,700, 6,200 and a 7.7. Options on these and main colour, those kind of things. So this is where you find all the stuff that goes onto trailers. So if you want to make your own one, that's where you'll find all of that. Then we come down to this section here, which is where you find your bits. So your herbicide tote. Now, what I couldn't understand with this as well when I did my mod review was when I was mixing, so to speak, it was using a lot of concentrate. This is concentrate. That's why it's 24,000 for 1,000 litres. That should mix a load. And I found it wasn't mixing a load, which makes it very expensive. And I couldn't understand why. Again, it could be something I did wrong. That's why we're in here. If we then come to pallets, and we come to here, there's a herbicide jug. So you can get a jug which is just 10 litres. It says 10 kilos there, but it's 10 litres. For again, 260 for 10 litres. That should go a long way, but it didn't seem to. And then you've got the soluble fertiliser, which is just there. So that's for your liquid fertiliser. That's for your another version of herbicide. So there's your soluble fertiliser. Again, 12,500 for 200 litres. So it's not cheap, but again, it seemed to go down really quickly. These are not liftable because they're not base game pallets, so you'd need something to pick them up with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by showing you one. This actually working, because when I did it on the mod review, I showed the ramps unfolding, but I couldn't show anything going onto it because I didn't have my Plains and Prairies pack selected. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you one with the hose reel. And I'm not going to put both on at the same time, and that's where I think I might have had a problem. But again, I'm going to reiterate this. I don't know at this point whether there's a problem with the mod. The mod may need an update. I'm making an assumption that I've made a mistake, that I've got something wrong. And this is the problem with doing mod reviews, especially in a complicated mod pack. I could spend ages problem solving, trying to work out where I've gone wrong, like I'm doing now, trying to get it right, because I want to put across the information correctly, one for the modder and one for you, the viewer, so you can watch this and say, okay, that's how it works. I could spend all this time and it still not work, because it could be a problem with the mod, but I don't know that at the moment. Sometimes I'm vindicated, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes within a day or two of doing a mod review, an update pops up and you think, okay, it was wrong, there was a problem, but I don't know at the moment, so I've got to try. So when I had both on, herbicide and solid fertilizer, soluble fertilizer, that makes liquid fertilizer, that makes herbicide, it would only do herbicide. Now, to be fair, I did have the soluble fertilizer on this one, and I did wonder whether I need to have them both on here, right by the mixer. It does say in the description that they just need to be on here. They could be in the cage, on the deck, but again, I don't know. So I've got one with hose reel, one with boom. I'm going to do one with the soluble fertilizer, one with the herbicide. Then over there, I've got the gooseneck with the components, the two components I'm going to put on, and I'll show you loading them on. What I'm also going to do, before I do anything on here, is show you detaching something and taking it off, just so you can go, you know, this is a pre-built one, but you can take things off it as well. Some of the things are liftable, some of the things you will need either a telehandler with a big bag handler, or a forklift truck, or whatever it is you're using. You may need to use some of those. Also, what I didn't show in the mod review was me filling these tanks up. I just said, oh, you can fill them up. I'm going to fill that one up over there using the one that's in the pack. That there, if we come into our build mode, under containers, under build mode, you'll see it there for 3,000. The community well, and once placed, it then becomes free. That's there. So I'm going to show this being filled up from that. I'm going to fill these up using this water tanker here. Come alongside, fill them all up so they've all got water in them. I'm then going to try on one of them to, like say, maybe the pipe options. Maybe pipe 1 is just to mix, then pipe 2 is unload. It's not clear. It doesn't really, yeah. So anyway, let's get on with this. So I realise, you know, it's still going to take a long time. That's why I've wanted to come back to it again, because this is a mod review in its own right, and I really genuinely didn't feel like I did it justice. So if you've gone for the one here with the sprayer deck, which is for taking a sprayer out with you, we can lower this now. So if I lower that, it puts the ramps down. Unfasten tension straps. Jump into the rogator. And there you go. But like I say, if you go into here, and you'll see when we go to our sprayers, which is there, if we look at our the Dino 2 and the Agrifax, the Condor, look at the wheel spacing. Now the thing with these is, on some mods previously you had an option to manually adjust those, but usually only when the boom's open. Sometimes they automatically adjust when the boom opens, but you don't want to drive down the road with the boom open, especially if you've gone for, I don't know, what does this go up to, a 36 metre, and the Agrifax goes up to, was it a 50? So you look at the track width on the axle width, it's really narrow. They won't fit. The Rogator, which came in Plains Prairies, much wider, and it will fit on, and that's the, I guess, the potential downside. I mean, there are a few, there's a few modded ones. So as you can see, you can take that out to the field with you. And again, it just adds to all that immersion of doing the job, whatever it is you might be doing. Once that's done, these can all be folded back up into the trailer. I showed this folding and unfolding, I just didn't show it with the thing on, which is what I'm going to do. So if we lift and then fold, it puts them away. And if I wanted to, I could add more stuff onto the back of this trailer and then continue to use it for whatever I wanted to. So that is the spray deck trailer, and shows that being loaded on, which is absolutely golden. That's what we wanted. What I'm going to do now, like I say, I'm not sure how we're going to get on with this, but we'll see. I'm using, I can't remember whose one this was. There's a few different pallet forks that have hidden tension straps. I'm going to put this on the hose reel. So I'm going to put this on top of here. Again, I'm just trying to give it the I don't know, the best chance possible. These do have tension straps on the top as well. If you're using, forklift trucks and stuff, that's absolutely fine too. And then for the other one with the gooseneck, I've gone for the smaller totes. So I'm hoping that if it is a mixing thing, if I just press the wrong button, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of people. I'm recording this. I haven't actually been on for the mod review. I haven't been through all the comments and stuff yet, so potentially people have already said this, I don't know, but if they have, then I'm just want to show it, So on this one, we'll drop that one there. Hopefully we can get this to work. But like I say, if it's not giving me an option to have both on at the same time, that's what I started to say earlier, then it's that thing of, yes, this is a fantastic tool, but you want to be able to go out to the field and have stored on here liquid fertilizer, or the potential for liquid fertilizer, and for our herbicide all together on one rig. You can have one of these filled with water, whatever you want to do. I say filled with water, they are filled with water, but you know what I mean. And add to that immersion to mixing in the field. I don't know. I did have problems with getting the straps on these. Let's just put... There we go. That's that one. There are straps all over the gaff, and I'll show you the pipes unfolding and stuff as well. There we go. That's that strap down. Right. So what I'll do now is let's fill these up. So I didn't show me filling these up the other day. They can be filled up from a tap. Anywhere that you can get water from, they can be filled up from. But if you want to bring water out to them, when I get to there, I can fill up like that. Take it to this one as well if I want to. Oh, missed the trigger. There we go. And then I'll do these. Did I do these two? No. There we go. Pull that over to one side. So what I should see now when I get into each of these, this one should show the water that's in here, and it should show the concentrate. There we go. So bottom right, unmixed herbicide and water, they're both in there. Brilliant stuff. Now the other thing you need to know about this, again if you didn't watch the mod review, the changing implement button, whatever you're playing on, whether it's PC, Xbox or PlayStation. I'm on PlayStation, so it's triangle. If you look top left, pressing triangle moves you around on all the various different things. That I'm on the main vehicle, that's the trailer, the actual deck itself. Then the various different things you can scroll across by pressing triangle. That one there is the Phiber dash. That's the 4.4 that's on the deck of that. That's the one it says you need to be on for your mixing, etc. and stuff like that. The other thing is you've got the option for, and I showed it on the mod review, if I go to this one for example and then go R1, is it L1? L1, there you go, unfold tote deck. So you see that mesh, like canvas mesh, unfold tote deck, start the engine, does that, takes the mesh away so you can store underneath. If I go to the front cage, which is that one there, L1, R1, right, R1, right stick side to side, opens and closes that cage, up and down, does that cage. Then L1, R1, right stick side to side, puts your steps down, right stick up and down, does the cage that way. So if you've got stuff stored in here, especially if it's the small jugs, you can get up onto here, up the steps, grab a small jug from here, and then load, I guess. You know, that's the point behind it. This is, you know, in reality how this would work in the real world. You can see the water pump on there, that's the dash, cage, tote system for storage, tanks. This is with the boom, the other one's with a hose reel. Now as far as that goes, if I press triangle again until I get to the tote, L1, and we've got right stick side to side, swings my boom out. So where it says pipe out, that doesn't do that, this is manual. So L1, right stick side to side, will bring my pipe in and out. And then what will happen here is, if I now do pipe out, so pipe out 1, puts that down, that laser is where that will unload to. So wherever you put your sprayer, it normally has to go, and it says in that description, if we go into the help menu again, if we come to the help menu, it will tell you, where are we? Was it function of components or using the trailer? It might have been using the trailer. Yeah, using the trailer. So it says there, for most sprayers, the laser should be positioned on the tank of the sprayer. However, that isn't the case. For example, for the Agrifac, it should be positioned on the cab. And the very bottom picture there shows that laser on the cab. It also says the middle one, it says for planters, most will need the laser lined up with the tanks as well. If they don't fill, try opening the covers for the seed hoppers, as some can only fill with those open. So sometimes you need to open the covers on your seeders if it's got a liquid fertilizer or herbicide component, normally liquid fertilizer. Now it does say most of the time you can drive onto the laser and it will automatically start filling. However, sometimes it does not. If it doesn't fill automatically, enter the truck that the dash is attached to and it will start unloading if the laser is properly aligned. So again, it's pressing triangle to make sure you're right on the right implement. Come in and out of this menu. It could be you've just done, again, you've done something wrong, and that's all I keep thinking to myself, have I done something wrong? Now when I'm on this menu again, L1 and right stick side to side, we've done that, but in and out or up and down moves my laser. So I can move my laser in and out, and I can swing it so I can get that positioned exactly where I need to on whatever sprayer I've come alongside. Now what I haven't done before, just turn the engine off on that, I didn't use the hose reel. I didn't try the hose reel on my mod review, so I'm going to start that up again. So top right, that said, oh, it's gone now. It said my Phiber dash was 100% full with water. That's now saying refill dash. That's curious. Right, let me press triangle till we get to, right, so at the moment that is on there. Pipe out 1, there you go, there's our laser. So the hose reel, the hose doesn't unfurl, there's no boom, but the laser will still go out, and we do still have the option for movement of our laser, whether it's in, out or side to side. We can adjust our laser. That is intimating that hose has been unrolled and you are now positioning it wherever it needs to be to work on whatever piece of equipment. Now I'm assuming, and it is an assumption, I don't think it's going to, if I bring a sprayer to do this, it's not going to attach a hose. I don't think it's going to, but I could be wrong. Now this is where I'm curious, because you notice when I first got into the lorry, and I don't know if it did it on the other one, it might be because I was talking, did it say top right? See, this hasn't done it. This hasn't given me that same option that says refill dash. Why is that? Isn't that weird? Now, what's different? What have I done different on this one? This one's got a boom and it's got the herbicide on top. The other one's got a hose reel and it's got the soluble fertilizer on top. And it's still saying unmixed herbicide, still saying water. So my logic to this was there would be an option that says mix. Top left, it would say mix. And that top bar above unmixed herbicide, bottom right, would then mix my water and unmixed herbicide. Now, if I had fertilizer on there as well, I would have thought it gives you the option to mix either herbicide or fertilizer, but I've got no option for that. And again, this is a part of me redoing this is my sanity. It's coming back on the thing. I went to bed last night and I'm thinking, something's wrong. I did something wrong. I missed something. And I'm coming back in today and I'm thinking, I didn't. I haven't missed anything. Still nothing for mixing at all. So what I'm curious then with this one, what will it do? Refill dash. Let's press L3. So I'm assuming what that's done now is that has taken all of that soluble from there and put it into the mixer. Yeah, because bottom right that's saying, look, water 260 litres. Why? Water soluble fertilizer 200. So I guess what should happen then is if I bring my sprayer alongside. Why is it only mixed the tiniest bit of water with that? If I bring my sprayer alongside now, that should fill my sprayer, shouldn't it? In theory. This one again, I'm baffled. Why? What has happened? It's almost like it wants to say it's on there, but it's not on there. Yeah, see, look. If you look there, that's saying water 260 litres, but it's like the other one, it's not saying it's got the concentrate in it. So that needs to refill. Why am I not getting an option to refill it? Do I need to put the boom in first and refill it? No, because the other one's out. Let's detach the trailer. Reattach the trailer. Switch till we get to that. The Phiber dash. No, no, no. It's bizarre. Still nothing. Fold that away. Any option? What about if we do pipe in? Right, pipes in. Any option? No. I'm going to lose my mind with this. Okay, well we're going to try the first one. This one will bring something alongside and see what happens with it. I've got the engines running on both. Oh, something I was going to show you as well, wasn't I? The detaching. So I'm not going to show on those because I've got stuff on it already. But for example, on here, we start the engine on here. We're on our trailer at the moment. If I press triangle, that's my tank. If I press detach, my tank is detached. Bottom of the screen, look, it says there, Lizard FSH25 has been detached. I can reattach it. This I can lift by... Oh no, I can't. Must have been just the small ones I could lift by hand. That will need to be lifted off with something, which I can do. Just to show you, just to prove the point. Just so you believe me. Please believe me. Let's say whether it's a forklift or whatever you're using. Those ones over there I lifted by hand. Maybe it's just the size. And again, when you come to redoing your trailers, go into that help menu, have a look at the configurations for the 45 foot, the 50 foot, the goosenecks. Do that. What have we attached to? I'm assuming I've attached to the trailer as well, have I? How bizarre. Oh, I'll tell you why. I'm such an idiot. It's because I filled it with water, didn't I? Thinking, why am I struggling to lift that? I filled it up, didn't I? Like a buffoon I am. That's why I couldn't pick it up by hand. I'm so focused. My mind is ticking away thinking, why is that other thing not working? While I'm showing this, I can be thinking about... It's because I filled it with water. Anyway, that you can take it off and you can put it back on. That's why the other one I could lift by hand, because it was empty. Right, okay. So let me just go over and show you that, and then we'll try and... I'm assuming with the engine running, and that has pre-mixed, because again we're showing there, bottom right. Well, that's not a lot of water. I don't... We're going to see how much of that soluble stuff it uses, because it could just turn out it's just crazily expensive. So, okay, for example. So this one here, we've got our tank, we've got our 1.4, and it does show that I can pick these up by hand, that by hand. Now, we'll have to make sure that this is lined up perpendicular to that. And again, go into the menu if you want to. You can check it out and have a look. This has got to be kind of towards the back, I think, there-ish. We'll try it there, like that. It will give me the option to attach it if I've got it right. And then this, pretty sure, it has to have the orange step facing forward, the pump to this side, so the left-hand side of the trailer, and then you should get pipe attachment as well if it does it. Now that should go on about here, I think. Let's try that. So that's putting stuff on. If I go into here, okay, I've got no option for either. Let me adjust that. Let's come back further. There we go. X, boom, that's attached that. But you notice I haven't got the option to attach the other one yet, so it's not quite in the right position. Let's take that back a little bit further, maybe to there. Try that. There we go. Attach. Straps that down, or attaches it. Attaches the pipe from that to that. And there I've got a basic rudimentary system. So I've got my water tank, I've got my fibre dash, and then what I would have to do is bring a pallet of, or in this case I think we're going to go with one or two of these. Again, I'm assuming this will work if they're strapped to the deck. I haven't tried this yet, in all honesty. Let's put that in front of there. See if this works. Will this give me the options I'm looking for? These are the options you're looking for. It might be I did something in the wrong order. Right, so as far as filling up the tank goes, I'll press triangle till we're on the tank just to make sure. It says start filling, and nothing happened. Do I need to be directly over the tank? There we go. Right, see that top right? Fibre dash 1.4, 260 litres of water it says. And now it's also saying, if you look on the left hand side, refill dash. So why did the other one not do that? So if I press refill dash now, L3, what that's now done, it's taken one of those from here and it's put it into there. So if you look bottom right, it's saying 10 litres of unmixed herbicide and water. Problem I have got is I don't have a hose reel or a boom. So how do I unload? Oh, there you go, pipe in. That's curious. Right, so I've refilled the dash again with the second one. Second thing's gone, so that's us filled, supposedly. Can I just go alongside a sprayer? Will it give me the option to refill? I don't know. Without pipe out, without a pipe or a boom, but it didn't give me the option, did it? I guess we can find that out now, can't we? Let's make sure I'm on the right thing. Fibre dash. Ah, there we go. Pipe out. Ah, there we go. So I just have to be on the fibre dash. There's me saying press triangle, make sure you're on the right thing. So technically there is a pipe of sorts. So pipe out, and it has pre-mixed. So what should happen now is, actually, if I do, can I adjust that in? But that hasn't done anything, has it? Do I just go pipe out 2? Nope, nothing changed. What, no options? Oh, no, unloads to put it all out on the floor, isn't it? What am I missing? It's saying that should automatically... Pipe is out. Is there a cover on this one? Oh, open cover. There we go, boom. Those instructions, open cover. Now that's only done 800 litres. Why has that only done 800 litres? Something's wrong. Something is seriously wrong. Right. That can't be right. This is what I was saying on the mod review. Something is wrong with the mixing ratios on this. The pricing is up the spout because that's used those 20 litres and all it's produced from those 20 litres is 800 litres. Now you may argue, well, that's not a bad ratio. You've mixed some water and you've mixed your herbicide concentrate, but the herbicide concentrate is expensive. If we come back down to here and we come to our pallets, that's 260 for each one. So we've just paid out, I don't know, 520? 520 and we've got 800 litres. So if I double that, that's 1,000 and something, which will give us 1,600 litres. If we come up to, actually if we come out of there and we go to here, I can pick up 2,000 litres for 3,200. It doesn't make any sense. The chemical, for the price of it, is unmixed. That should be using a fraction of that to water. The ratio should be different. Surely. At least we got it to, it loaded over. It did what it should have done. And what we can do now, actually, let's try this, because this one's got a herbicide on it as well. Let's see what this one does, because I'm genuinely curious now to see what happens here. Right, we've opened cover. Let's go to this. Pipe in. Pipe out. I've got nothing. Nothing coming up saying refill, saying dash, saying anything. And like I say, we come back to these instructions and it seems using the trailer. To fill the dash with them, you will need to have the dash selected to get the prompt in the help menu to refill. Refill dash. We did that. To unload from the dash, you will need to open the pipe. The dash 4.4 and 1.4 have two pipe options. One for mixing, one for unloading base game herbicide liquid fertilizer from the tanks. The water pump has one pipe option to unload whatever is in the tanks. Once you've opened the pipe, a laser will appear to show you where the unload point will be. It can be moved using the standard loader controls if a different position is required. And unfortunately, we come back to that situation. We get a lot of times with mods. It should not be this complicated. Yes, I get it. It's a complicated system in the real world. I'm thinking, have I missed it? Is there a water pump option that I'm missing? What about now? Nope. It's not even showing it now without it strapped down. What is going on? And the thing is, well, in those instructions, it doesn't say there's a specific order of operation. It doesn't say you must do this first, then this, then, you know. Just looking on the website to see the details. It doesn't really, it refers you to the help window in here. Right, let's see if we can do this one. So this took all of our stuff. That should be good to go. I don't know. Now, bearing in mind that that pallet was 12,500. Do I need to open the tank on this? Doesn't say. Whoa! So that has worked perfectly. Perfect. Exactly what it should have done. it mixed the stuff on the tanker. I've driven alongside, the engine's running on it, it's filled it up, it's done the mix, we're golden. How much has it used? That is the curious thing. There you go, water soluble fertilizer. That was, hang on a minute, how much was in that water soluble fertilizer? Let me just check a pallet. My mind's blanked. It wasn't 1,000, was it? Was it 200? 200. So that's used 103 litres. So that's half of that. It's used half of that. So that's 6,000. We're back to what I was talking about in the mod review. So it's used half of that trailer, just over half of that trailer load, because that bottom right say 95.9. So actually more than that. It's used 104 litres of the water soluble fertiliser. So that's, let's say 6,250. That's how much it's used to produce 4,164 litres of liquid fertiliser. Okay, let's go into here and check on our liquid fertiliser. Liquid fertiliser for 2,000 litres is 3,200. Two of those is 6,400. I've paid 6,250 for the concentrate to mix with water to put into here. It doesn't. You're paying the same amount of money. I guess the only thing I can say in its favour is that it's a more realistic thing. That's what you'll be doing in the real world. It saves you having to have loads and loads and loads of IBCs. I guess that's the point, isn't it? You've got a couple of small pallets or a pallet, you've got water, and then you're just doing that. My argument to that would be, why don't I just bring out a low loader with a load of IBCs on it? I'm really struggling to reconcile all of this. I honestly was hoping I'd get a better result, a different result. Maybe this is how it is 100% intended to be. I thought you'd get more bang for your buck with the concentrate. I really did. Although that being said, that mixed how it should have done. I drove up alongside, it filled up as it should have done. Why did that one over there only do 800 litres? Why did that do 800 litres? Why did that not do, not that one, where was it? But it was this one, but it was using the this here, wasn't it? Why did that only do 800 litres? Because it used all of the stuff we had, those two small ones, and all that did was produce 800 litres. And I cannot. That worked perfectly. Why is this one not working? Why can I not get the herbicide to work? Do I need to move the tote? How am I not getting, when I'm pressing triangle top left, I'm not getting any option to refill anything? Let's go pipe in. Any option? Nothing. Pipe in again, puts it away. Nothing. Let's go to this and make sure I've got my cover open, which is why I didn't do it before. Is it because I've already got herbicide in it? Do I need to... I'll empty that, I'll try that. I'll try anything at this point because I cannot fathom this. But that does seem weird to me, because if you were doing a field and you've got a little bit left in there and think, oh actually let's go back and refill. If it won't let you refill because you've got a bit in there again, that doesn't make any sense. That's not right. So pipe out one. Let's reverse the lorry rather than swap it out. We need to do that and bring that into... Hasn't done anything automatically. Hasn't given me the option for refill. Okay, the very last thing I'm going to try before... And if this is how it's supposed to be, fine, but I don't understand. It makes no sense. And I know this is not what you want to hear. All I'm saying to you is, here it all is, here's the instructions, this is how it's... And like I say, it's worked on that one over there, and I'm pointing, but not this one here. It kind of worked on that one, it just used all of the small jugs. The ratios of concentrate to what we're getting, I think is... I mean, maybe it isn't spot on, but... Right, what we're going to do I'm going to get another one of these trailers with a boom. I'm going to take the stuff off the top, switch to that, undo tension straps. I'm going to put the boom back in, pipe in, let's put the boom away. I'm going to come back into here just to see if there's something I did wrong. I don't know. We were at 50 foot, weren't we? And we were on that one. Filling configuration standard. Do I go pipe again, or do I try, if it's not working on the boom, or did I go for a 45 foot? I can't remember what I went for. It was a single, wasn't it? Hang on. Oh, it's only a single tote, so that's the 45 foot. So it's that one. Shall I try it with hose with this one as well and see if it's potentially a problem with the boom? Maybe. Let's go hose reel. Right, I need to be quick now because of time. I'm going to refill these. Start filling and see top right if it says anything, if it's going to fill the dash or whatever it says it's going to do once we've got water in here. It's the front one. I'm going to press triangle till we're on the back one. Let's refill that. So that's all our water on board. So that would make sense. That's our first step, wouldn't it? Nothing top right suddenly pinged up, has it? Now let's, like I say, maybe it is an order of operation thing. If I press triangle till we get to the Phiber dash unit, which is that there. Hasn't done anything. Hasn't come up to refill anything. Do I do pipe out? You're only allowed to have one of these trailers out? Is that why? Is it because I've got multiple trailers out? Help me understand. Okay, next thing then, I'll go and get the herbicide concentrate. We'll put that on top. I'll switch to that cage so we can strap that down. We'll see if it does anything, whether it gives me an option to refill. Right, bear with me a second, I'm going to go and put that on. Okay, difference this time. I've strapped it on to the right hand side, not the left hand side. I say strapped on. I'm going to strap it on now. Ah, look, it's saying refill dash. So now I've put that on, it's saying refill dash. Let's switch back to there. Let's refill dash. So I think what that's doing is it's taking it, mind you, if it's taking it from that IBC, and that IBC is 1,000 litres, is that just saying it's registering that it is here? Let's go back to here now. Ah, why only? So I've got 260 litres of water, 260 litres of unmixed herbicide. Which I guess maybe that's the maximum for these tanks potentially. Because when I did the other one over there, that was only a 200 litre pallet, wasn't it? And those were only small ones on there, so maybe that's 260 litres is the most. But the curiosity now is going to be, considering this cost 24,000, wasn't it? Yeah, unmixed herbicide. There's only 740 left in that. So whilst, yeah, so what it's done is it's taken some from there, put it into here. It's put water into here. That should be ready to mix now. So why did it not work on the other one? Was it order of operation? Did I put that on first and I should have had the water in first, then put this on? Then it gives you the option to refill. Potentially, maybe we've sorted that out. Maybe that's what it is. It's an order of operation thing. So what should happen now is, if I drive up to here with that engine running, it should refill. Will, won't, I don't know. We've got our cover open. let's see how much that 260 litres gives us. Will it do it automatically? Yep, there we go. It's pumping, you can hear the pump going. So, 5,200 litres. Has that refilled that again? Okay, hang on. 740. So that only used 130 litres. Which, to be fair, the other one used 104, didn't it? That used 104, this has used 130. And we've got 5,200 litres. I mean, it works out maybe a little bit cheaper than buying IBCs and stuff like that. And I guess maybe that's it. Maybe I just thought that the concentrate would go further. The point behind it being it mixes that, and we've got them both to work now. They have both worked. It did work on there. That's just a very, you're going to need a lot of those small jugs if you're going to be doing it like that. A lot of them. But we've done liquid fertilizer. We've done herbicide. So following all the things I showed you, the bits and bobs, I filled the water tanks up first, then I put that on top, and it came up with the option to refill. I refilled, which put it all down into here, and then with the engine running, drove alongside, and it automatically, but remembering again, keep going backwards and forwards to those instructions, I had to make sure I had the cover open, and it did it. So yeah, the mixing ratios, it's not going to be a big money savings thing. It's not going to be using concentrate and water. You're going to get a load more extra liquid fertilizer or herbicide. It probably is going to work out equitable to if you bought it in IBCs. It just means you don't have to have IBCs, although you are carrying big water tanks around with you if you go for the mixer version. If you go for the simplified version, that won't be the case. I think we may have cracked it, and I've shown the bits and bobs that I wanted to show, the extra bits. Have we got it to work? I think so. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.